Hey guys, it's Kim here. It's day 17 of the 100-day video challenge. Today being Monday, I've had a couple of days off over the weekend. Again, I'm playing this game so I can do whatever I like, which is pretty much the message for all of us here, is that do whatever you want, which is probably the first thing I want to get over to you today is run your life how you want to do it. Pretty much if you accept that, then everyone else will as well, because they're just a mirror of you. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the concept of adversity and why bad things happen to us. I've done a lot of work over this for a long time, and in particular I had a really interesting experience that I'm just going to explain to you. This was a couple of years ago. When I would probably do a daily meditation, and in that daily meditation I would leave my body energetically and go traveling, speaking to whoever I wanted to speak to, going wherever I needed to go. Pretty much there is no limit as to who you can speak to and where you can go when you have access to your own energy systems and also the energy systems of the universe. It is unlimited. But let me just explain what happened one time when I was literally coming back down energetically into my body. And as I could feel, because if you think about consciousness, and when you're floating around having experiences in the universe, your consciousness is focused on that. So you're not really focused on what's happening here. As my spirit or soul was coming down into my body, it connected with my body, but the consciousness was still what I would call universal consciousness, or soul consciousness, not the human consciousness. So as my soul came down, it was literally still this universal consciousness. As my soul connected to my body, and I was in universal consciousness, which is pure bliss, pure love, pure joy, what happened is I felt my body completely reject the feeling of bliss, complete bliss, and it started to panic. And it was so strange because I was there in my body feeling completely blissful, no worries, and completely at one with the universe and everything in it, but my body started to panic. And so I took a bit of time then to work out exactly what was going on. And then again, dealing with the people and the teams around me, what we came to the assumption of is the fact that our body is connected to our soul purpose. And we have an agreement with ourselves that our soul comes into this body, and then on this planet, in this journey, we have experiences to learn and to grow and to, again, just have an experience, right? So if this is the concept, if we were blissfully happy and had nothing to work on or nothing that we needed to work towards, that actually defeats the purpose of us being here because our body, and this is why our conscious mind is so intent on pushing us and putting boundaries in our way with the negative thoughts that come up, is because we're meant to get through that. Because if it was easy, then we would get through things really easy, and then our life would be pretty much over because there's no purpose in of us being here, because we have already reached utopia, that whole kind of concept of pure bliss, unlimited love, all that sort of thing. So the body, and this for you, if you are trying to make something work and it doesn't matter what you do, it's not working, it's because of this. And I'll explain, why. It doesn't matter what the secret says or even all the other kind of spiritual gurus and all that sort of thing. If adversity is part of your contract and part of the reason why you're here, which pretty much most of us are here, if you think about the people who have most adversity are the ones that grow so much because they have to move through it. When you take that away, then our body does go into shock, and our systems go into shock, because it's like, what do we do then? And it doesn't actually understand what we're meant to do. So this is why your life will continue to have adversity pop up, even if you don't want it, because it doesn't know anything else. It doesn't know, part of its journey is not to just sit here and be blissfully happy, because that's boring. If you wanted to do that, you would just be a spirit in the sky. You could do the same thing, but coming into a body and having an experience is the reason why we're here. And then to have challenges and adversity is, again, the reason why we're here. You take that away, then the body goes into shock and panic. It's like, what are we meant to do now? So this is an advantage to having adversity in your life. This is the reason why there is a negativity, adversity, problems and challenges in your life, is because of this. This is the purpose for us to grow and to learn. So when I had that experience and the awareness and the aha moment about what was really going on, I then made a decision, and I said, okay, universe, I don't want adversity to be my purpose anymore. I don't actually want to have adversity or working out a problem or trying to get through an issue to be my purpose here anymore. I need another option, because my body thinks that the only reason why it's here is to have adversity, to learn and to grow. So I've got something to work on. And I was told then from the universe that there is another option. And I was so relieved. I'm like, yes, what is our other option other than adversity, to be able to be here, to have an experience here? And it was said to me, and it said this to me a couple of times over the last few years when I've forgotten, because, it's easy to forget, is that the thing we can do to choose a different experience is to take our choice away from adversity and move away from adversity and move into experimenting. So experimenting with our life. So that universally ticked the box for our purpose to be here, is to experiment with our life, experiment with the experiences that we're having, experiment with the people we have around us, experiment with the jobs that we do, experiment with our days, experiment with everything. What then happens is that you're still learning and you're growing, but it's so powerful because you're going into each experiment with no expectations. You don't know what the end result's going to be. That ticks the box with the universe. You're going in without knowing the hows or whys. You're literally then just going into an experiment. It could be for anything. So you're going into the experiment wanting to see what can happen. So this is again where it's in alignment with how the universe operates, is because the universe doesn't like being told what to do. The universe does actually know our paths, and it does know the purpose behind why we're here and where we're going. So for us to go in and say, well, this is what I want, and this is what I want to manifest, and this is what I want to experience in my life. By you telling the universe this is how I'm going to do it, you're getting in the way of the path that the universe has set up for us to then go along it. So what we need to do is we need to allow the universe to guide us through that path. And the only way we can do that is to be quiet, to listen to the thoughts that pop into our head from the universe, and then to act on them without questioning it or asking how, because we'll be guided for the next step. So this is all we need to do in the experimental process, is to say, well, what would I like to experience? So you might say, I want more money, or I'd like a bigger house, or whatever. The universe wants to know how you want to feel. The universe wants to know what you want to experience. So maybe I want to experience abundance. Maybe I want to experience feeling rich, or even, whatever anyone wants to experience. What happens when you tick it off as an experiment, it drops off literally most of the connections that you have from anything that has happened in the past that is connected to that experience. Because what you're going to say is, you're going to say, well, in this current moment, and for any other moment that happens after this moment, I'm going to see what happens. And I'm also going to say, well, if I want to experience this through an experiment in my next reality or my next second, that means that I'm ticking off the box to say I've already experienced the duality of the opposite of that. So if I want to experience abundance, I can say I've already experienced being poor or feeling limited or whatever. And you can then do what I call a spiritual tick, a spiritual checklist, a spiritual bucket list on the things that you've gone through in this life and past lives. It's all connected. And you say, I've done that in this next second and for any future seconds that come after that. I want to experiment with experiencing abundance because I've already experienced poverty, or I've experienced the opposite of that. So literally that drops off any connection that you've had to something that's happened in the past and those past experiences, because you've ticked it off and said, I've done that. And you can then move forward into the next second and create whatever reality you want in this very next second. But the secret is you're not meant to know how to get there. By using the experimental process, you are allowing the universe to guide you there simply by being open to receive the guidance that you get every day and playing with each experiment as they come up. So it ticks the box around not needing adversity to grow and to learn. You're using the experiment to grow and to learn. So we can tick off adversity and negativity from our human experience. Let's all do that. And let's just say, I'm open to receive guidance for whatever it is I want to experience in the future, to then say, I'm going to experiment how to get there because I'm open to receive how the universe is going to take me there. So this is why with, say, The Secret and other kind of manifesting processes, they'll all say you just need to think it, you need to believe it, you need to feel it. See it, all that kind of thing. But that's just not working for a lot of people because they've still got these programs running inside. And again, if there is that program saying that I need adversity to learn and to grow, it doesn't matter how much you wish for something, because your purpose for being here is for adversity. So you then need to tick off adversity as your spiritual bucket list, your spiritual, list, and say, okay, I'm then ready to experience the opposite, which is infinite possibilities. And that's what I use with my experimental processes. And I'm giving you the permission to be able to do that now. You can tick off the adversity and start looking at experimenting with your life from now on. You can see when you experiment with your life, you can be completely detached from what actually happens because it's just an experiment. You can literally go into each situation and step into it without any fears or without any doubts, because you know that if it doesn't work, there's just another experiment that you're going to try next. So it's really powerful to use the experimental process to be able to tick the box of learning and growing, and then gets you faster to manifesting what you want or getting what you want, because the universe loves when you use life as an experiment, you use life as fun, you use it like a game, and that's pretty much why we're here. So you can see it ticks all the boxes. Experimenting and changing, experimenting is your new purpose rather than adversity being your purpose. And you watch how things will really, really change. I run sessions and I actually do 6-month programs with people, which is really fun, where we catch up every week and we experiment with new things every week. And oh my God, it's so much fun what we can experiment with in life. So I'm urging you guys to use your life like a big experiment now. See everything that you've had, all the adversity that you've had before now, as simply something that you needed to experience, but you're going to tick that off now and you're ready for the opposite of that, which is abundance, which is happiness, which is whatever it is, which is the opposite of what you've had. And then you literally then receive information from the universe as to what your next steps are from there. You don't need to work it out because it's always given to you via your thoughts and your feelings, the messages and signs that come to us, pretty much every second of every day. All you need to do is be still, listen, be aware, and then act on the things that are coming to you. It's such a great way to live. It's a really fantastic way to get things done without the hard work or without slogging your guts out to try and get something. But also it gets rid of the concept of wishing and hoping. There's no such thing as wishing and hoping. But also when you're experimenting, there's also no such thing as wanting or needing, because that just doesn't exist in experimental mode. So again, when you wish and hope for something, the universe will go, okay, well, I'll give you more experiences of wishing and hoping. You don't want that. And then if you need or want something, the universe will say, I will give you more experiences of needing and wanting. We don't want that either. So it's about being. And what the experimental process does is the essence of being. So the being means that you're in the current moment, you're open to receive what happens next, but you're so present in your body and in your focus is right on the current moment that you are being who you really are in this present moment when you're in experimental mode. And that is the key and the big secret around manifesting that, over the centuries and whatever that they've been teaching around manifesting. The being is the most important part, and that's what experimenting allows you to do, is to be in the current moment, but then be open to expect anything in the next current moment. And you can simply control the next current moment by literally receiving the information that you need for that next step. It's so much fun. If anyone wants to talk to me more about that, just message below or private message me. But it's a really awesome way to get through not only the day, but the weeks, the years. It's so much fun. And I'm urging you guys, switch from your purpose of adversity and turn it into an experiment. Turn your life into an experiment, and you watch things start to change for you. It's so awesome. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow.